Welcome back. This is part two of show number 6. I did not do a thing to the painting in the break. I put my palette down and we are going right back to work where we started. I've got to just get a little sharper on getting a painting down into the 30-minute range, but I appreciate you being here with me. So let's go back to uh, working on our little waterfall here. And anyway, so that's where we are. So we're going to keep right on rolling. I just want to add a little bit darker blue color where I think it'd be darker in some places. And I just love the way this Prussian blue works with the phthalo blue and just puts in some beautiful dark colors. I hope that's coming through. Yeah, I think you can see that. So kind of smooth out some of my less than how water would move brush strokes, and that'll be just fine. I want to put some darker back here on this one too, and just have that'll just kind of help sparkle here in a second. We're going to put some white kind of water splashes down and really beautify this up some. Maybe we'll have this waterfall just go right off the page over here into the next pool that we can't see in our painting. How about that? That sounds pretty cool to me. And I am okay with that. So we'll bring some dirt down, bring some, probably some trees. That wouldn't surprise you at all, I don't think, that we'll drop a great big old tree in there. Oh, yeah, there we go. And deep water is often quiet. So we'll put some rocks in there for that to tumble over, and we're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. So let's go back just a little bit. I want to get some land brought in and a few things on that side of the river, just to kind of help frame it up nicely and push it back just a smidge. And then we'll put some things on this side of the river. And you can do this a number of different ways. You could use mountain mix if you wanted. You can, I don't know, I kind of like to make a little rock wall looking thing, so it just really helps make it look like that's holding that side of the river in. We'll put some highlight on that, so that'll look more like what I'm talking about here in just a second. That's too much dirt though, so let's scrape off that extra, and let's just use that to pull in our dirt over here. I'm still working to get super comfy with this knife, but that's what it takes. Just got to keep working with the tools and go from there. I think I might have a little paint thinner, so I'm just going to get out of that. And now we're going to put some highlight. Let's take a little dark sienna, grab a little white, and we're just going to make a little highlight color to put on that. Just break up that brown of the dirt a little bit. It's not looking like snow, but I just want to change the flavor a little bit. So we're going to kind of make it just a little more abrupt there. I'm hoping that's coming through on the video there, that you can kind of see that makes those look kind of like slopes, dirt, could be rocks, could be old tree parts, whatever. Just kind of there by the river, those highlights. Just again, looking to give it some depth and kind of see like that. Yeah, all right, so that's what that looks like. Let's grab another Fran brush, and we're going to go into some straight titanium white, and I'm just going to splash it up along the edge there a little bit. Kind of like we would do with the knife on a distant lake shore or something like that, to kind of cut it in. But we're just going to put in some white, and I may need to use some liquid white just to thin this down a little bit, but not a lot. It will not take a lot. I still want the brush strokes there, because that really helps, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. Because you're just going to take it and push up, because that's going to look like this our waterfall is making splashy, 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 splashy. Reload a little bit, get some over here on the rock, splashy, 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 splashy. You can also kind of have it coming down your rock a little bit there if you need to. Splashy, 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 splashy around the rocks. I often have to go back and do that a couple times so it doesn't look so chopped in there. So just to make that stand out a little better, I'm just going to kind of scrub in a water line next to our distant shore over there before our waterfall. So I'm hoping that's coming through a little better. I'll try to get a good still image for you when the show is done, but let's just kind of scrub in some water. It also kind of just fuzzes out that rough edge of those rocks the way I left it with the knife. Kind of maybe looks like a little bit of sandy shore or mud mix kind of deal. So I like what we're doing there. Never fear, we're going to drop a tree probably right in here so it looks like it's actually in front of the waterfall. And then we're going to do one similar thing on the left-hand side there. So let's get a little darker buildup here so I've got a little bit better to put our splashy water on. And I want you to be able to see that real good. And we'll stick a rock in there or something so it doesn't look so strange. And you don't want to do too many stripes there with the blue because then your just water doesn't look like a waterfall then, and that's okay. Maybe you don't want it to. Up to you. No wrong way, but the answer I have found is often less messing with it, the better. Less messing with it. I got to remind myself that over and over. Quit fooling with it. You're just gonna make a mud pile or a mess and then have to put something over it or take something out. So let's kind of dance in a little bit of rock of some kind. So we're holding in this side of where our waterfall is right here. We'll put some highlight on that. So just like we did on the shore over there. So it'll look real rock-like. And this is kind of just like putting the baby mountain here in your painting. And putting the highlight on it is not the same, similar, but not the same as snow on a mountain, but you'll get it. You'll get it. So I like using a small knife, which I just had in my hand. We're going to use that same color we made, so we pulled it out and left it marbly. And I want this rock. Let's see, how does that one look like it feels? This would be the back side, I think. So let's just put a little highlight back here. I'm going to pull some more highlight that way. I want to have kind of a flat top. Yeah, there it goes. And then drop off this side for us. So just like that. We'll put a little water on that rock and around it. And it's going to look right at home in our river there. And we're dropping some big trees. And man, we are, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to jinx myself, but ain't that far off from being done on this one. So we're just going to put a little water on this guy. And see, that's a nice thing about it. Doesn't really matter if you didn't like that corner there, because it will, you can really undo that or just kind of blend it out with your water line there. So that works. I'm just going to get some little bit thinned down white again, so it's just liquid white and some titanium white. I've still got a little blue in the brush, but I just want a few little splashies just to kind of up the interest level there as that water's coming around that. So step back, take a look every now and then. So what I think we need is a great big tree over here, and then great big tree over here, And I will tell you that that will just about conclude today's party. You know what? Let's do this one different. Let's do this one with brown and the knife. So we're going to just in a monster tree up there. So let's get some brown. Let's do a little dark cyan in there, just to kind of red it up just a smidge. And cut across, get that nice little roll of paint, and here's your bravery test. And I would tell you, go for it. So just give a little pull, 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 pull. Do not go back and mess with it too much. We will reload. And pull, 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 pull. We'll go back and widen him out some, so don't you worry about that. We just want to get his shape roughed in, get him down here to where he's going to be rooted real good by this river. And I like giving him some legs. So we're going to give him some good footsies and come back in. Sorry if my hand is directly in your way. I will be out of that way in just a second. Don't forget, we're going to do branches and all kinds of things. So we would not be able to see the entirety of this. If you can tell, I'm kind of giving a little pull around the side just to kind of give him some depth there, some three-dimensional or curve to him. I don't know the technical terms. I hope you can see what I'm doing and it makes sense to you. So if not, sorry about that. So let's do just some sienna, and we're just going to touch. I just want to touch the side where the light's coming from, and let the canvas pull off a little bit, just because we want to give him some barkiness. And I'm just kind of going in that same around pattern, shape, whatever you call that, to just give it some dimension. I love these little peaks that stay, because when that dries, you would actually be able to feel those. You will be able to feel those. So let's go back to our script liner brush that we did our branches with before. We've still got some thinned out brown on the palette, so we're just going to add some more paint thinner, give ourselves a little bigger inkwell to work with, and put in a bunch of branches to put some tree leaves and such on. And no, you do not have to do yours all shaky like I do. I happen to have had lots of coffee today, and that does really help if that's the look you're going for. If you do not want your branches to appear to be shaky, perhaps don't have as much caffeine as I have had today. That's up to you. I think that's a personal decision. And we'll put a few more off. Now, branches don't just come off and go all one way. They don't just come from the back of the tree or the front of the tree, and some might go this way and then turn that way for some reason. I always like to put a couple out over that thing that I really want this to be in front of. So we'll put some leaves and color on that here in just a second. I hope that makes sense, because to me, having this like in front of our little river right here just really helps set that back. And we're going to probably come in with some dirt. I may chop that off and redo the bottom of that. So quick clean of the brush, and let's go. How about some super bright leaves on this guy? So let's go a little liquid white, and just kind of use those same greens we were before, but now that we've added the liquid white, this is going to be quite a bit brighter. So we'll see. Let's add some sap green just to darken that down a bit, and let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. I like that color. What do you think? Now that will pick up some brown as we come through it, so let's just be ready for that. Because I do want to cover up some of our thick trunk there. Not all of it though. So I'm going to come back and do that as another layer here in a second. But I do want these to be dark enough to be able to tell it's not right on top of that tree we just put it in front of. It's on this side of the river. So we're just going to go back, keep thinking like a tree. And keep going. Let's brighten that back up with some phthalo green in there for this side and down here. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's get some in across that trunk before we get too carried away. And the brown that's already there is going to help us darken that up. So that's really pretty cool how that works, isn't it? It's almost like a freebie. I like a freebie like that every now and then. So I just want to get rid of some of that dark. I could go through the whole brush washing procedure, but thankfully that brown will just knock right off the end of that brush. And get a little more liquid white on the palette just so I'm ready to keep on rolling here. Got a little newer growth down here, and this should stand out pretty well because of the darkness on the other side of our river there. Kind of like that. Let's take a little step back. I like what we got going there. So let's put in some bushy things to highlight right along in here. We're going to do something there. I'm not crazy about how I just left that. So you know what? Let's go right back in here. I'm going to put another rock in there and highlight that. So let's just kind of go up that way and pull it back down. Pull it back down. And we're going to put some bushy or grassy kind of things on top of that. So do not fret that I just ate up that little bush we had. That bush will live again another day here for us in just a second. So we're going to kind of put some dark back here so we've got some good stuff to highlight. So we're just going to put some dark back there and we'll highlight it right now. So let's have this one be more of a top rock kind of deal, and then kind of come this way and that way. I like that. Cool. Maybe we'll put some little tree things back there. So a little more paint thinner, a little more brown. Maybe it goes off our. Couple little tree things. Forgive me if you heard that phone thing. I don't know what that is because I'm on airplane mode. Oh, calendar reminder. That's right. I do have a web conference in half hour, so it's too soon to remind me. All right, so let's whip that up with some color, and we're going to move right along to the tree on that side and finish this baby up. So, white. You know what? Let's put some Indian yellow, some cad yellow. We'll just kind of dirty yellow greenish this up a bit. I think you'll like what happens here. Going to be a little bit of a different color on there, but just hang with kind of like that for a little underneath coat. I believe we are having some liquid sunshine out here in Central Florida right now, so that's pretty cool. Went from hot and sunny when I started part one of this show to, man, we are having rain. All right, now we're just going to go with a real dark color. Let's go, I've got some black. I've got some Mountain Mix, which has Blizzard and Crimson. What else has it got in it? Prussian blue, midnight black, I think is what Kyle puts in there. Put in there in that recipe. I just want to put in some dark here, so we're going to put in some different kind of foliage around this tree, just so it doesn't look like just tree, bonk, 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 boring, boring, boring. So we'll get some dark in there so we can put some highlight in. Went and got some liquid white just to thin it down some, and I really just wanted to get, like I said, a bunch of dark in here. This brush is really stiff for some reason, so we're just going to use that to our advantage and kind of let this be the edge of our lake over here. Wasn't what my first thought was, but guess what? Don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents. So there you go. We'll just bring these little flowery guys all the way over here. Ooh, I like that. See how that works out for you sometimes? So don't get upset. Just keep going. No reason to sit down and have a pity party. Just keep going. Let's put in a little bit more definite shape on some of these so we've got some real good stuff to highlight. How about that? Yeah, we're going to cut in some. Show you one of my favorite things that I still watch tons of Bob Ross episodes today. Take your knife and cut in some little sticks and twigs. Just right down to the bare canvas. Now don't worry, we're going to put some highlights on this. So you're just going to see these. These are like baby little, like we did those tree trunks and such before. So just find your darkest parts. And this is really going to help you put in some depth right here. You'll pick up a little paint, so just scratch that off. You can go the other way too. And out the top, you may pull a little color, which is pretty cool when it works out just right. And like that. And people will think you spent hours and hours and hours doing that. And it literally took minutes. I want to change color. I want to change shape. So we're going to brighten this up a whole bunch down here. So you know what? Let's go right back to where we had our alizarin crimson. We're still picking up some of that color that we did earlier, so we've got a little yellow in it, and that's just fine. I do want a tiny, tiny whisper of paint thinner, because I don't want to just kill all our dark there. So we're just going to go some paint thinner. And the shape that it's leaving on my palette is going to be the same shape we're getting on the flowers, which is exactly what we're going to want. Here's what I mean. So watch, I'm just going to use the corner of the brush and just touch. Oh, I like how bright that is. I hope that's coming through a little bit. We may add a little white just so you can see the little bit. Let's pick up a little bit of white. Oops, left a little red in there. That's okay. Just pat that down a little bit. And I got a little more paint thinner than I wanted. So let's just work through that. Give me a second. We're going to add a touch of straight red to that. And we're going to get into some yellows. And just really make some pretty colors down here. So just touch. Oh, there's the color I was looking for. So just touch. Looks like we got beautiful flowery bushes down here. And do one bush at a time. Because don't forget, some of them are going to overlap. You're not going to see all of them. And what am I going to not kill? Don't kill all your dark. Pick up some dark. Just wipe it off. Go right back in and reload. And you're back in business. And that's a good rain shower we're getting out there. This is great. Lori put some great weed and feed on our yard about a week ago. And she was laughing at herself yesterday, which also happened to be our 24th wedding anniversary. But it's been a few days, been I guess almost a week, and you can see where the spreader she was pushing went. And there's a few darker rows that got a little more fertilizer. I mean, the whole yard looks great. She did a great job, but she was laughing at herself. So if you talk to her, you could razz her a little bit about that. That'd be fun. All right, so I think that's enough for our pinky reddy bushes down here. What do you think? Let's go wipe off some of that color. We're going to jump right into some yellows. I'm just going to wipe off a bunch of that pink, because this will make a real pretty color as it mixes down here with the yellows. Some of them will just look kind of dirty, dirtier yellow, dirty pink, but that's okay because some of these flowers would be related, right? So we can sneak right in here. All right, and we're just about out of time for this show as well. So I'm going to be forcing myself to speed up and stay on our 30-minute goal for shows. So let's drop in one tree, and we're going to be done. So I'm going to go straight into the brown. The brown will eat up my blue. That's fine. Sneak into some black to help that along. Ooh, we said we were going to do a evergreen tree, didn't we? I don't really want an evergreen tree right there. So we're just going to go with a big old tree like that. Just going to buzz out the other side of it, and we're going to have his base just come down like that, so we can't really tell where he's at. Grab our script liner brush, more brown, dark colors for some limbs. Just going to put in a few little limbs like this. Going to get some leaves on him, and we are going to call this one done. If you have hung with me this long, I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching show 6. What did we say we're on? 6, part 2. Let's get some leaves, a little more white, some nice dark green. We do have some yellows and phthalo green in here. This is a cool color. I'm hoping this turns out great to finish. Ooh, I like how bright and cool that is. So let's kind of get some up here. Sometimes it looks like a little Spanish moss just hanging down out of our tree there. And I love that for that part of the tree. Just put another little lay of color on him because, man, in Florida, that thing would have more moisture than he knew what to do with. So he would be green and green and green down here at the base. And lots of little squirrels and rabbits and things would love making their home there. Let's get a few up here at the top. Again, I'm trying to do these in shapes, not just hitting this at random. It probably looks that way, but I am applying slightly different pressure, different angles, and trying to just kiss. All right, we're going to sign this one. Wait a minute, we are now 1 minute and 40 seconds. We are going to put some paint thinner in the red, and we're going to sign this baby, call it done. I'm having a ball on these shows. There are a couple of things I wanted to show you. Lori has been working awfully hard in keeping and getting the website really up to snuff. Thanks to so many of your requests, I want to show you a couple of things that she's ordered and we've gotten as far as samples. There's a great magnet selection. This is Red Sky Wave, I believe is the name of that one. She also got this really cool mug. I'm going to tilt this a bit just so you can see it in the light because I think staying right here is going to be the best. If you look at it, this is one of the Let Out of the Woods paintings that really, really turned out well on this mug. So we are both just tickled to death with that. Very, very pleased. I'm going to ask her to put the either QR code or links directly to those so you can see it. The other thing, last thing I would show you is one of the paintings I did in class with Nick last time really has gotten a lot of positive feedback. I love that one. Now let me show you the print Lori ordered and just how fantastic this turned out. I mean, it is, sorry, I can't hold that flat. We're going to get this framed here very soon, but the shipping is impeccable. My buddy Steve Mays did an exceptional job with the photography. He's such a gifted artist and great friend. So have an awesome day. We just hit 30 minutes, and thanks for watching. See you next time.